What's up? Gonna build a center console today. Let's get into it. As with all my projects, we're gonna start with a piece of sheet metal and a cardboard template. Alright, I got two of these. These are going to be the sides of the center console. Next, I just got to cut a middle piece. Let's say right here. Alright, now that I got that cut out of the sheet metal, I want to transfer all these lines from my template to sheet metal. These are basically break lines of where this piece is going to bend so that it fits on the two sides that I cut earlier. Okay, I got all my lines transferred to my piece of sheet metal. And I also got this sweet little mini brake that goes on a vise. It's magnetic, it holds it in place. And you can also take out individual fingers if you were making a pan. It works really good for little projects like this. Anyway, I need to make a brake right on this line here. All right, the next bend I'm going for right here is going to be this curve right here. And I don't want it to be super sharp, so I'm not going to use a brake. I'm going to try and clamp this to my table and just bend it by hand. Alright, I've just been hand bending this piece of sheet metal, and you can see it's starting to take the shape of the side pieces that I'm going to weld this to. If we look at the interior of the dash, you can see right here we've got a bunch of beads rolled into the dash. And since the center console is going to be on the opposite side of this, I want to try and replicate that. Alright, so I want to make 3 beads in this piece of sheet metal. I got it marked out right here. To do that, I'm going to use my bead roller. I put the smallest die in there that I had, and hopefully it works out. Alright, that worked pretty well. I think that the beads match the dashboard pretty good. I'm just going to try and flatten this out a little bit. It's a little bit distorted just from rolling the bead into it. So I'm going to try and straighten this out real quick. Alright, this is starting to fit. The side's pretty good. I'm going to put a brake in it right here, but this won't fit in my vice brake, so we're going to try something else. Works pretty good. Gonna put one more brake in this piece and it should fit in my vice brake, and then the top piece should be pretty much done. Alright, next thing I want to do is attach the top to the side, so I'm just going to weld those together. Alright, I got the majority of it welded up. You can see it's starting to take shape. Now I just gotta grind all these welds down real quick. Alright, got all the welds ground down. It's starting to look pretty sweet. Next I need to address this area. I left this folded out because I'm going to put two switches right here. So I'm going to build a little tunnel, I guess, cover up this spot. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do next. All right, I got this piece all cleaned up. It's gonna go right here. Like that. And I'm just gonna weld this on. All right, I got that all welded and ground down. It looks pretty sweet. Next, got to drill a couple holes right here for 2 switches. Okay, the moment of truth. I just want to do a quick test fit now that I got some shape into this thing. It looks like it's going to fit pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is make some brackets real quick that are going to hold the front of the center console. Alright, now that I test fit it and it fit really good, I made these little brackets. These just attach to the bottom of the seat brackets, and that's what's going to hold the front of the center console in place when it's in the truck. And then these 2 holes back here will screw to the back of the cab wall, and that will get covered up by a piece of vinyl or leather. So next I want to make a little pad that's going to sit right here that I can upholster with fabric so that the paint doesn't get chipped up right there. All right, just welded a couple of bolts to this pad so that I can bolt it into place. That's how that's going to sit. Basically, the center console is done as far as fabrication goes. Now I need to bump it and paint it. Alright, here's what it looks like now that it's all painted. I think it looks really good. It's hard to tell on camera just how good it looks, but it should complement the interior nicely. Alright, before I install the center console, I want to make a panel that's going to cover the back of this. That way I don't have to take the center console back out again. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, I cut a piece of aluminum to fit the back of the cab wall. My garage is a lot of things. Sometimes it's a bracket factory, sometimes it's a body shop, sometimes it's a paint shop. Today, it's an upholstery shop. So Rob, if you're watching, cover your eyes from the sins I'm about to commit. I'm just gonna cover this with some vinyl. I'm gonna use some 3M Super 77, and then it should be ready to install. All right, the moment of truth. Looks pretty good. I'm just gonna poke some holes where I'm gonna put some screws in it, and then it's ready to install. All right, got that all installed. This is what this looks like. As for these areas right here, that's a problem for another day. You can see I've got some speaker wires ran. I'm gonna put some speakers in here once I make these panels. I have the original ones, but probably just be easier to make new ones. So I guess on to the next. All right, I got this little piece. It's the pad for the center console. I'm just gonna do the same thing, put some vinyl on it. I'm not going to put any padding on it because my elbow's not actually going to ever touch this. I might set my hand on it or my phone on it. It's just a little piece to protect the paint from getting scratched by anything that I put on the center console. So I'm going to upholster this and then put it on the center console. All right, just gonna put a couple of 1/4 20 nutserts in the back of this cab wall. Yeah. All right, here's what it looks like with the seats installed. I think it turned out pretty sweet. The bead rolled lines on the center console match the dashboard like I was hoping to do. Fits in there pretty tight. I put a couple switches down here. This is for the brake controller, and this one's going to be for an emergency brake, but it's not hooked up to anything just yet. Here's what it looks like from the driver's side. The vinyl pad in the middle looks pretty good. It should protect the paint from getting scratched when I put my elbow on it. All right, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that little project. There's still a ton of work left to do this thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. If you want to leave a comment below on what you might like to see, I might do that. As usual, keep watching, and I'll see you next time.